think about
how the face of boxing can't go across the street, can't go across the country, can't travel and fly and all that, right? How you gonna be the face of boxing and you can only fight in the United States? Come on, man, don't down him, crown him, man.
Davis has finally responded to Bill Haney's call-out, and it turned into an embarrassing moment for both father and son. He didn't just promise a beating, but also mocked them with Ryan Garcia fight memes, even trolling the Haneys by suggesting they must be broke for bragging about small cars.
Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, Team Tank Davis. I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is Devin had bought me another Mercedes. Another one.
This sparked an even more heated back and forth on X, formerly Twitter, before Gervonta Davis said he would be ready in January if they brought a favorable contract. He fired back by mocking their criticism, boasting about his success, and challenging them to stop talking online and make the fight official. Despite Gervonta Davis telling them to bring the contract, the next move in his career remains uncertain, making it unclear how soon or if the fight will actually happen. His insulting tweet was a direct response to Bill Haney, who posted a viral video mocking Davis and throwing shade at his team, suggesting they were poorly treated by the fighter. In the clip, Haney sarcastically addressed Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, and the rest of Davis's camp, joking about gifts and loyalty. He claimed Devin had bought him another Mercedes while implying Davis failed to reward his own team the same way. The comments were meant to embarrass Davis publicly and question his leadership, fueling even more tension between both camps.
The bad news is the Grinch didn't buy you guys one. But Debo is looking for him. And he's on the list. So let's see if 2026 you can't influence your man to be more.
Even though the two fighters compete in different weight classes, Devin Haney is riding momentum after a major win over Brian Norman Jr., while Gervonta Davis is coming off two canceled fights linked to ongoing legal issues. What makes the situation more surprising is that Bill Haney had previously supported Davis during his court battles. Now that support has flipped into public trolling, highlighting how quickly alliances can change in a fight game. Bill Haney had even defended Tank in a recent interview with Radio Raheem, claiming there was a broader conspiracy working against Gervonta Davis and suggesting that black fighters often face unfair obstacles when it comes to proper training opportunities.
For training.
Right. So is the Rose rematch canceled, or is it still going to take place later at a later date, because it's supposed to take place in August?
Right. I haven't heard anything. I'm on point when he called me. When he called me, I'm there.
Right.
I don't get caught up in all the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
When he called me and said, "Let's start camp," I'm there. I let everybody else handle their part.
Master, this will Calvin be?
Haney stressed that this was not breaking news, saying young black athletes are being charged at alarming rates and deserve greater scrutiny and fairness. He argued the issue goes beyond any single individual, explaining it is not just about Gervonta Davis or Bill Haney, but a wider problem affecting families and communities. According to Haney, families need to come together, protect their stars, and keep them grounded at home instead of watching them struggle publicly on television. He added that he wished nothing but well for Gervonta Davis and the mother of his child, hoping they could get the support they need to help Davis return to his full superstar potential. Despite those words, tensions between the two sides have clearly escalated. Still, conflict between the camps is nothing new. Not long ago, a dramatic incident unfolded when Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney reportedly clashed at a nightclub following Devin Haney's loss to Ryan Garcia, showing how deep and ongoing the rivalry.
Tank did recently say he wanted to fight in Saudi.
Got to talk to the probation officer.
The rivalry between the two boxers escalated dramatically when they came close to fighting outside a Las Vegas nightclub. Davis and Haney's feud dates back several years to a tense sparring session, but it reignited after Tank mocked the Dream on social media following his shocking loss to Ryan Garcia. Since that defeat, both fighters have exchanged heated words online with tensions steadily rising over recent weeks. What had been a simmering war of words has now boiled over, turning into a serious confrontation and nearly spilling into a physical clash, showing just how intense and The 29-year-old took their long-running rivalry to a personal level by showing up and posing for a photo with Haney's luxury Mercedes-Benz G63, then posting it on social media. A video later surfaced showing Haney reacting to the stunt, which quickly sparked a heated street confrontation between the two. Tempers flared as they exchanged shouted inaudible insults, drawing attention from people nearby. Their teams eventually stepped in and separated them, preventing the situation from escalating further as bystanders were pulled into the tense moment.
Who in the world that I think that could beat Tank? That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that could beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I cracked both of them.
I told you it's a 50-50 fight.
Ain't no 50-50 fight, nigga. How you gonna keep me off when you ain't got no power?
I was also told that Devin got the...
Haney appeared to be firing back at Davis, further intensifying their feud and setting the stage for a potential future showdown in the boxing ring. Earlier footage had already surfaced, showing Davis involved in another heated exchange with Haney. While Haney isn't fully visible in the clip, it's clear the confrontation stemmed from the photo Davis posted online, accompanied by the caption, "Aha, can't stop stuff," and "We on their side," which only fueled tensions between them.
They say Ryan is a C-level fighter, but Tank say Ryan is the best fighter he fought. So what is it about Ryan that made Gervonta feel like he was the best fighter he fought?
I don't know. He shared a ring with him. Maybe he fought all C-level fighters.
He later tweeted, "Tell them how I made you and your team leave, and I'm on your side of town." "That guy's a cold fool," Haney fired back by confirming the car was his, and responded with jab of his own, saying Davis liked the vehicle so much that he stopped to take a photo beside it, then joked about sending him one from the dealership.
They came at me wrong the first time they ever came at me, which they said I will fight Devin. And then when he was saying, like, Devin was his guy. So I'm like, if Devin your guy, y'all gotta pay me now, extra, like, cause I already know what I'm coming over there. You feel me? I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him. So that's what made me like, oh yeah, I see what's going on. So now, give me 2 or 4 or 3 Ferraris.
Later phone camera footage surfaced, showing Davis and Haney outside a club loudly shouting at each other as chaos unfolded around them. Amid this backdrop, Davis has also responded to Bill Haney's claims that he underpays his team, an issue he has addressed multiple times. Gervonta Davis recently spoke about the tension with longtime trainer Calvin Ford, explaining why Ford was absent for the Lamont Roach fight. Davis said the rip began when Ford and Kenny Ellis allowed outside media narrative.
The position that he's in is to wake the youth up because they have so much to give, but something and all the distraction is taking them away from it. And if you look at his last interview, he said, "I really want to get away from it. I'm trying to get what I got to get and get away from it." But he don't know that it's more to come from his lessons that's going to change that. You know, boxing is just a vehicle to actually be that voice to speak, and that's why I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? Because
they came to me this year and said, "I don't pay them as much as other fighters pay their trainers. That's them letting outside noise get to them," he explained. He claimed they chose to walk away before the Lamont Roach fight because he wasn't willing to raise their pay. Davis emphasized that he treats Calvin Ford like a father, saying he doesn't just pay him around fight time. "I give Calvin money all the time. I handle his bills, get him cars, houses, whatever he wants. It's like a father and son relationship," he added.
Calvin too, I just think, but that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in them shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life. And that's why
he also explained that Calvin Ford tried to step in for the Roach fight at the last minute, but he refused since Ford had been absent the whole time. That incident where I yelled at him in the ring was because he wasn't in my camp and I didn't want him speaking. If he didn't train me, he said. Despite Ford and Kenny Ellis later attempting to retract their claims that Davis underpaid them, Davis insisted the damage was...
We go again. That's why I don't do interviews anymore, because they always take my word and misconstrue it. You know what I'm saying? When we was talking about individuals, we wasn't talking about nobody specific, and we wasn't talking about Tank. Tank's my baby. Tank, Kenny said, out of 100, 2 of them love you. That's one of them that do love you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing.
Rumors circulated that Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's trainer, hadn't been paid for his work. Ford himself addressed the claims on the Rise podcast, saying, "I'm not going anywhere. I love my job, and I love who I work for." His statements contradict the reports of a professional split suggesting he remains part of Davis's team without discussing financial...
I had to train Tank when I didn't want him to get in trouble, and I wanted to make sure we was together. I used to take him to work with me. And he'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Similarly, other members of Davis's team have dismissed any claims of conflict and have not elaborated on the financial arrangements between the boxer and his trainer. Kenny Ellis was particularly clear, insisting the payment story be ended. "Stop this narrative about Tank not paying me and Calvin. Every time I worked that corner with Tank, he took care of me, and he will continue to do so." Tank is family for life, Ellis stated.
We don't know where this stuff is coming from. It wasn't no reunited. They never separated. You know.
I guess it's because of Tank's comment, because he was asked if Coach Calvin was in his corner. He said, "We'll see."
Right, because it's nobody's business, but, you know, he didn't mean anything by that, you know.
Facts. There you go.
They forever family.
Because you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't even pull up with your team you pulled up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late, though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. In Baltimore, we don't worry about other people's money. I don't care if he's a billionaire. I'm not counting his pockets. Tank has always looked out for us, and he will continue to do so. Y'all need to stop that narrative, he added.
Hey, Tank, real talk. Will Calvin be with you on this fight? Come on, you Tank. Huh? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. We gotta see.
While Ellis emphasized that Davis has always paid him for cornering his fights, his comments left some uncertainty about whether he's been compensated fairly during training camps or regular workouts when no fight is scheduled. This controversy comes just months after Davis entered a fight camp without Calvin Ford. Despite the team's efforts to downplay the situation, it's now evident that underlying tensions have existed since the start of the year.
He's a grown man, and he has the right to make the grown man decisions that he wants. So let's get that. Put that up. Everybody's snatching something and don't even have a clue. And that's what I was saying about social media. You know what I'm saying? If you don't hear a person say it out their mouth, it doesn't mean anything.
What's going on with Tank, and are we going to see, and when are we going to see him back?
They got a little legal issue. As soon as they get through the courts, they'll set a date, and all we can do is wait. I don't get into that side, you know what I mean? I'm just there.
This stemmed from ongoing unspoken misunderstandings in his corner, dating back to the build-up for the Lamont Roach fight.
Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean?
The turmoil began when Calvin Ford chose to step away from Tank, focusing instead on mentoring younger trainers. Several factors contributed to this decision, and it's widely discussed among boxing fans that Tank has a reputation for not paying his trainers well. Although Ford repeatedly denied these claims, he often defended Tank by saying their relationship is like that of father and son, meaning Ford receives whatever he needs rather than a fixed salary. However, Ford eventually grew frustrated with Tank's behavior and decided to leave his corner. The situation was clear Ford was unhappy and tried to avoid Tank's training camp, while Tank, at that time, was unwilling to address or understand...
Hey, Tank, real talk. Will Calvin be with you on this fight? Come on, you Tank. Huh? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. We gotta see.
What do you think about the guy yelling in the back?
There was an outright fight, but tensions were obvious. The chaos on fight night marked the start of a serious rift that eventually caused their split. Gervonta Davis ignored Calvin Ford's guidance during the build-up and declined his advice, which only deepened the divide between...
And he know when I go spend time with my piece, I'm going through that. You know what I'm saying? When he was there, at least I know where he was at. because of something that we didn't want to do. If something that we
Davis felt Calvin Ford wasn't in a position to give him instructions since he hadn't committed to coming to his training camp. During one of the later rounds, when Ford advised him to be more cautious, Davis shouted Calvin calm down and listen to me a moment many in the boxing community viewed as disrespectful.
Cal, you gotta calm down and listen to me.
Hey, come on now.
It's trying to get it.
There you go. There you go. That's all you have to do. There you go. Stay good. Stay focused. That was a good round. You got me? Turn up now. I want all three of these.
One fan commented, "I really feel sorry for that man. Tank is so disrespectful and rude, and he wouldn't be able to do much without him." Another tried to see things from Davis's perspective, saying, if someone like Calvin Ford did what he did for Tank, I'd be forever grateful and make sure he never lacked anything. Yet another criticized Davis, harshly calling him ungrateful and wicked. Tank is so cruel. I can't respect someone like that. Despite everything Calvin did for him, he acts ungrateful, then turns around and says Calvin is like a father to him, they added.
I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so, it's something we got to work on in the corner, for sure.
Before their split became public, they claimed Calvin was just stepping back while the training setup stayed the same. The reporter emphasized that this didn't suggest any breakup or conflict between Ford and Gervonta Davis.
This question is for Coach Calvin Ford. This is Matt from Brunch Boxing. Now, we know that Tank has talked in the past about retiring, leaving the game of boxing. As someone that's had Tank since basically he was a pup and you've...
They simply wanted to know if the temporary separation had strengthened their bond, similar to how family members sometimes grow closer after time apart. Coach Ford replied no. He came to check on me, slow down and worry about me, because he knows I spend time with my amateurs. You both know me well. That's my piece. Even though he wasn't actively training Tank, just knowing where he was and that he was training offered Ford a sense of reassurance.
After tonight,
I like to see Tank to do what he want to do. I said at the last press conference, y'all got to understand, them guys been doing it since they were little. This might energize them again.
Oh, yeah. In fact, he backstage right now talking about he want a rematch.
No, backstage.
Hey, will Calvin be with you on this fight? Come on, you saying? Huh? Will Calvin be with you on this fight?
I don't know. We gotta see. That's right.
What do you think about the guy yelling in the back?
Ford acknowledged that being apart from Davis helped them both appreciate their bond. When he returned to the gym, he could tell the lightweight champion had missed him just as much. Meanwhile, fans continued to debate Davis's future. In January, Davis told Inside Boxing Live he wanted therapy and mental health support to become a better father, saying, "That's why I don't want to box."
Like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion.
I want to do therapy, but I worry it might take away the fire inside me. I want to release everything so I never think about fighting or get angry again. I have 2 daughters, and I want them to grow up gentler and more humble, he said.
What's going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in you can get knocked out like that, so I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I ain't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
It's all about being true to yourself. You need to stay authentic. Faking it doing something you know you don't want to do is where things go wrong, he explained. Shortly after Gervonta Davis entered training camp for a fight without Calvin Ford. Despite the team's efforts to downplay the situation, it's now clear that underlying tensions have existed since the start of the year. Fans are hopeful for a Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis matchup in the coming year. For the latest updates on news, moments, events, and developments in boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss high-quality content. Until next time, peace.